Hey there, folks. I'm Isaac, and I have 4 honorable kills.
And I'm Claire, and I am green.
And this is Make That Game,
where we pitch the latest,
the greatest
new video game ideas
that won't ever get made. I guess I should start, giving a ready check. Because when I was ready, I always assume that you're ready.
Oh, I'm never ready. That's actually the secret. I don't pick anything until you've said something.
Oh.
Yeah.
Wow.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Well, I'm putting a lot more effort. Not effort. I'm putting a lot more
thought.
No. Decor. No. What? I'm trying to think of other words to fill in for the word I'm trying to think of, but now I don't even know the definition of the word that I'm trying to think of. Much more import. I'm putting more import into it.
Yeah.
Whereas it seems like this is actually just a little throwaway thing.
I mean, I just think about something I've done in a game recently, and then I throw that in there.
Same.
Okay.
I do want to mention I've got more than 4 honorable kills, though. That was a little bit of a joke on my part.
Is that from WoW?
That's World of Warcraft, baby.
So I was like, I don't think they mention honorable kills in Baldur's Gate 3.
No, they have honor mode.
Right, but isn't that like the super hard?
That's a different thing.
Yeah.
I don't know exactly what that entails, but I've seen people talk about it. Hey there, folks. This is a game design podcast. We talk about game design. We design games, and we tell them to you.
We design games in the mind space.
In the mind space. We design them, and then you go out there and make that game.
Maybe.
If you want.
Hasn't
These are
happened
for
yet,
free.
So be the first.
We are the idea guys, except instead of just posting, I have a good idea, who wants to code it for me? We actually just say the idea straight up.
And then
you can do whatever. Yeah, that's what we do it.
Yeah, and we have been doing themes for our ideas. Isaac, what theme is this week?
Heart.
Okay, I was going to say, please don't say you forgot, because then you did not do
Valentine's Day. This is Valentine's Day weekend.
Yes.
This is the weekend of Valentine's Day, so we went with an appropriate theme. We call that theme Heart, which can mean a lot of things. I personally went with Kevin Hart, the comedian.
No, you did not. Did you?
No, no.
I was like, I don't even know what that game would be, but
I'm making a little
funny.
joke.
Okay.
Plus, that's HART, whereas we clearly went with the theme HEART.
Yeah.
Which is why my game idea is about Tifa Lockhart.
I think you're going to have to say your game idea
character.
Because I don't.
No, okay.
You're joking too much, so now you have to go first.
So, I have a little bit of a problem with my game idea.
Okay.
I came up with it, and I was happy with it, and then I realized that I think I am straight up plagiarizing a game that I've played before. To a T, but I didn't have a chance to actually verify, how plagiarized it is. So, I'm going to start by telling people what this game is, at the very least, heavily subconsciously inspired by.
Okay.
So that people can go out and they can judge for themselves whether I am just a dirty robber of ideas or not. Princess Remedy and the World of Hurt is a free game. I think I played it a decade ago, maybe more than a decade ago, on Steam. I think it was made as part of a game jam.
Okay.
I should look up the developer name so I can pitch the developer.
Oh yeah, you always make me do that, and then I need to look it up.
Oh, there's a sequel to it. Okay, Princess Remedy in a World of Hurt on Steam by Ludosity. Ludosity both published and developed it. I thought that I would recognize more of these, but I don't know what else. I don't know any of these other games that they've made. Anyways, also developed by Rimar Games. Anyways, the basic idea of my game is that there is a world-ending catastrophical villain, okay? But he can only be defeated by the power of friendship. Mm-hmm. There's no battles in this game except for the final battle against the villain, which is like a normal RPG kind of fare. So you don't have the chance to level up or get equipment or gold or whatever by fighting slimes and goblins in the forest.
Chicory.
I didn't play or even really watch enough of Chicory. They have.
Well, remember that was my biggest bonk is that like you don't. There's literally
you don't like train the combat.
There's
through
no
the game.
battling until you hit a boss.
Yeah. The idea here, and it's just going to be like a generic JRPG. That, to be clear, this is not intended to be like a long form. I'm playing this for 100 hours game. This is I play it in an afternoon. I have a good time with it, and then move on with my life and maybe think about it from every once in a while, which is what Princess Remedy was for me. Apparently, only it took me a decade to think about it again. So yeah, there's one final boss, but he's way stronger than you because you don't have the power of friendship. How do you gain the power of friendship? Well, you make friends. So you explore the world, you find people.
Kirby, what is it? Kirby Star? No, not. Yeah, Star Allies.
Star Allies is the one where you like.
You throw the heart at people and then they work with you.
Yes, but this is not that.
Okay.
These people don't work with you.
Oh.
You just get the power of friendship from them.
Oh, okay.
So you go around the world, you find
very
people.
one-sided relationship.
Well, no. What? Oh my God. What? How's it one-sided?
Oh, just because, like, I don't know, that you just take the power of friendship from them and then they're not even part of it.
No, but you don't walk up to someone and be like, give me your friendship.
Oh, okay.
And then, like, steal it from them. No, you find a people and it's like a lady and she's like, oh, my cuckoos are loose. And then you collect all the cuckoos and bring them back to her pen. And then she's like, thanks.
Like, plus 12
now we're
friendship.
friends.
Okay.
And now you've got more friendship points. And, that's like the level up system. You do a bunch of tasks to help people and it makes you have more power of friendship, which you then use to defeat the final boss. And then when you beat the game, your name goes on a leaderboard of how much and how little friendship. No, how much doesn't make any sense from a game design standpoint because there is a maximum amount of friendship placed in the world. So it would just be whoever does all the quests. Which would
be like everybody.
Yeah, whereas the minimum, the leaderboard of minimum, and then including with time or whatever, then you get a little matrix where you can be like, okay, this person speedran it basically. Like they only made one friend and they beat the boss in 1 minute. Like they knew the strategy. Anyways, all of the like friendship quests are going to be like pretty basic, like Legend of Zelda style, like puzzle quests where it's like find the cuckoos, bring them back. Might have like an actual like Legend of Zelda style puzzle about like pushing blocks in proper places, like cutting grass, like just simple interactions that you can do in the world. Not doing like very intense, like long, especially not combat related things. Anyways, that's my game idea. I didn't come up with a name.
You never do.
Why?
But wait, so when you said it's like basically a dupe of this other game, like how close is it?
So I actually don't remember the moment-to-moment gameplay of Princess Remedy. I forget if it did have like if it was a more I don't want to call it generic, but like if you did like the JRPG style like turn-based battles and everything and also like made friends with people. And then you fought the final villain, and I can't remember if there was an actual battle with the final villain or if it was just like make friends with everybody and then there's like a cutscene where you defeat the final villain. Like I said, this has been like possibly a decade ago. So like I have very little memories except for the general concept of the game, which I have completely stolen and hopefully to some extent made my own.
Okay.
Also, a fun thing about Princess Remedy in A World of Hurt is before you beat the game, you can go to any of the characters that you did make friends with. And you can go to any character that you did make friends with. And then you can ask them to marry you. And then after the final boss is defeated, you're married to that character. And when I played through, I remember there was like a dog that I found a bone for.
You can
and
marry.
So I marry you can marry literally any of the people that you help. All it is it's like a dialogue option after you've helped them. Like once you're ready to beat the game, if I'm remembering this correctly, which again, shaky memories, you just walk up to them, you talk to them again, and you can like have them follow you to like the final boss or final cutscene or whatever happens there, and then at the end there's a little marriage ceremony.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's pretty cute, though.
I can't remember if it was a dog or a duck. Both of them fit my style, but that's the kind of game that was, and that's the kind of game I'm trying to make. But since it has a sequel, what if I just ripped off the sequel? What if the sequel expanded the idea into exactly what I just described?
Well, then you wouldn't rip it off. You came up with it.
That's true. Independent evolution.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Anyways, that's my game idea.
Game. I like it. I like it. I think the combat would be scary, but I like it. Yeah,
it would be a final battle, but okay, this isn't so much this is kind of design. I want it to be like the final battle will be the most intimidating like JRPG, like Final Fantasy style Dragon Quest, like it's gonna pull out all the ropes of like long animations and like scary music and multiple phases and just everything that's like cool about like the final boss of like JRPGs. Whereas the rest of the game is just walking around like talking to people basically. It's gonna be I need that like juxtaposition, that like dichotomy of
I like that.
Of hey, I'm playing like Stardew Valley, and then suddenly
no,
like you are. It's almost like the same juxtaposition as like Kirby games have, where you're just running around having fun, and then biblically accurate God.
I think Kirby juxtaposition, I think it's less than what you're describing, only because like the visuals stay the same.
That's true.
You know, it's like yes, you are fighting God, but like it's a cute God.
I want the sky to darken. I it would be cool. Yeah, the pixel, like I'm imagining pixel art. And then the pixel style changes from like Stardew Valley to Final Fantasy VI. Hopefully somebody in the audience gets my references there, because Google it, look it up. Yeah, that's my nameless game.
Cool.
It's called My Nameless Game.
I don't know. I reject that.
Yeah. How important? Because I'm just realizing we pitch them.
Yeah.
And like, if people do make our game, they don't have to make it with the name that we give it, right?
No.
We're just giving the game design.
Right.
Okay. All right. So I don't feel as bad. Rapid fire round, we still need to have the names.
Well, that's part of the challenge.
That's part of the challenge.
We never said we needed names for the pitch session.
Yeah. I want to make that rule clear.
I assume that all pitch sessions, even if we have a name, it's like a working title.
Yeah,
because the game doesn't exist yet.
That's
Whereas
true.
in the rapid fire round, those games are immediately created, obviously.
Yes, they do exist in the real world spontaneously.
Yeah.
What's your game idea this week? This heart-themed game.
Okay, my game is called Heartbreakers, and I imagine it like arcade style and visuals. I think it'd be cool if you could play it in an arcade, but when I explain the gameplay, I don't know if it would be possible.
Okay.
But I do picture it like it should look like Pac-Man from like the 80s, graphically. Like it's just all little bleep bloops.
Okay. Describing the graphics as bleep bloops is a new one for me.
You know. Like a black screen with just like single color pixels.
Yeah.
Bleep bloops.
Bleep bloops. Well, all pixels are single color. Let's be...
Okay, well, I meant like there's not like...
Yeah, all the characters are like...
Yeah, it's like all pink.
Yeah.
It's all pink. And the game is you're a Valentine's Day courier at a high school. Okay. And you have to deliver Valentines to like point A to point B.
Yeah.
But it's like speed is important. So that's supposed to mess you up. Like you can make mistakes.
Going too fast?
No, but like it's important to go fast.
Okay.
And
but because of the stress of you going fast, you might make
deliver
mistakes.
the wrong Valentines.
Okay.
So if you deliver the wrong ones too many times, then you're a heartbreaker and that's game over.
Okay.
And your goal is to deliver all the Valentines correctly to make love happen.
Okay. So, all right. Tell me how accurate this is. This is what I'm envisioning.
I think I said bleep bloops because that's also how it sounds. It's like...
Yeah. Of course. Some nice midis.
Yeah.
This is 100% an arcade game. Yeah, I don't know why this wouldn't be.
Okay, good. Because that's what I wanted.
I'm imagining like the same kind of like maybe there's multiple levels, right? Yeah. So each level is like the labyrinthine setup of like Pac-Man. Like it is a maze on screen. And instead of like power packs, right? It's letters.
Yeah.
And each letter is associated, like maybe they have different colors and
and you have to like
to
go
the different
to like
characters.
Yeah.
So like in Pac-Man, the gameplay loop. Let's call it the gameplay loop. You collect dots, you pick up power pellet, all the ghosts get scared of you and run away. And you try to eat as many as you can to get points until you pick up all the pellets on the stage.
Right.
I'm envisioning in this one, you pick up a letter, one specific ghost / character is the one that like changes, and then you can defeat them
by giving them the letter.
But if you touch any other one, you still get defeated yourself.
Yes.
You're a heartbreaker at that point.
Yes, and that's like your life.
And that's your life. And so the goal is to, obviously deliver all the letters throughout the level. And so there's this level of herding gameplay where like manipulating the different AIs of the different enemies, we'll call them, just for easy game design terms.
Yeah. They'll call them lovers.
Oh, yeah, for these lovers. Yeah. So like manipulating their like movements to keep them close to like the ones that you want close to you and repel the other ones and stuff.
Similarly to Pac-Man, like once you get the letter, there's only a certain amount of time.
Yes.
In which you can tell who it's for.
I just had this cool. Do you mind if I riff on it?
Before you riff? I just wanted to say like I didn't anticipate it to be so much of a Pac-Man-like, but I do like that. I had initially thought of like the labyrinth having like classrooms, and then that's like where you're delivering things. But I kind of like the people being.
Oh,
around.
okay, yeah.
No, but I think
I
think the people being around makes it easier for mistakes. Which is which like has to happen for the game to
right,
to work.
Because if you accidentally, if you like force yourself into a corner where you have to pick up the blue letter, but the red guy's like chasing you down,
it's like,
and then you're like, oh crap.
Yeah. So okay, now you can riff. I just wanted to say that part.
Yeah. So normal Pac-Man fare. We're just calling this a Pac-Man-like for now. You pick up the letter, you eat the ghost, it goes back to the center, and then it respawns and follows you around. How about instead of that, here's a twist on that. The only ones that respawn are the ones that you mess up the letter for.
Okay.
Like you either don't get it to them in time,
or you give them the wrong one,
or you you give the wrong one. So like if you pick up the red letter, touch the blue guy, now the blue guy's mad at you, and he or they specifically like become like a more powerful version. So now every time you mess up, the rest of the level also gets harder.
Okay.
You like that?
Yeah.
That's a good addition? Nice.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like it. I legitimately like this because I don't think that I see a lot of Pac-Man likes.
I wonder if it's just like copyrighted up the wazoo. If that's like
Maybe.
part of it.
Video games are so hard to copyright, especially back then. I feel like
yeah,
I'm going to do I actually Pac-Man might be one of the ones that did get copyright. I'm going to Google it.
Yeah, like because you're right when you say that. Like, why wouldn't people copy it? It's very popular.
I know that there was a lot of bad rip-offs.
Oh, okay. Well, maybe they just weren't coolly themed like mine. But that's also the benefit of this show because we can pitch games with whatever IP we want because we're not going to make them. So it's great.
I want to say that I brought up Pac-Man in maybe it was Tetris. I don't know. I remember vaguely that I saw something about Pac-Man related to a copyright research I did for this show, this podcast one time. But yeah, it is curious that it's like only Pac-Man, and I'm not even sure if the bad ripoffs were not like official Pac-Man like ports, because I know like Atari had a Pac-Man port that was trash, or at least looked trash to me. Like it looked worse than the arcade game, and it seemed like it was slower and jankier. Anyways, we'll have to find out if you can make a Pac-Man like, or if the Pac-Man Mafia has really Oh my god. Can we banter a little bit about that secret level animation on Amazon Prime? that we watched.
Oh my god!
With the biblically accurate Pac-Man. What? I don't want to talk about it too much, but I just want to talk about like what was that? What is the new Pac-Man game that was advertising going to be? How is this going to work?
I had wiped that from my memory. And now it's
I brought it back.
Rushing
I
back.
lassoed it. I caught it in a lasso.
If we want to talk about it, we have to say what it is. So basically, Amazon Prime released like short films based on video games.
It's like an anthology series. So each like episode is like a 20-minute animation about a video game.
And this one was like a Pac-Man, and it was absolutely horrific.
Pac-Man was like a little orb that like guided an alien man to eat things on a hostile planet, and then like possessed him, and there was a blood bubble and a big gorilla.
It was a little much.
It was a little much.
But wait, was it truly advertising a new game? No,
well, a lot of people when it first came out, their reaction was, what was that? And okay, actually I'm thinking like I didn't look too deeply into it. I saw some people say, oh, it makes so much more sense that there is a new game coming out that this was like a hype machine for. I never actually confirmed that. I never went to pacman.com to see what the latest announcement. I can't imagine that they would release like Pac-Man's dad. I don't know if Pac-Man has a dad in the same sense that Kirby has a dad, but like whoever's in charge
oh boy
of Pac-Man.
Did we start saying Kirby's dad, or is that like just a thing people say? Did we do that?
That's a good question.
Make impact is what, if you go to pacman.com.
Oh my god. We're
Oh, it's Pac-Man's 45th anniversary this year.
Oh, which is why they've gone for the gritty reboot. Reboot. Okay, so yeah, I think Kirby's dad is like our thing.
Okay, good.
I don't think people. I feel like I mostly see people refer to Sakurai as Sakurai.
Not Kirby's dad?
I think I called him Kirby's dad
like
to give you context for who I was talking about.
Now I'm just like, that's Kirby's dad.
I think I was like, oh, Masahiro Sakurai like makes like game design videos on YouTube.
Yeah.
And then you probably looked at me blankly and I said, Kirby's dad.
Good. Well, I'm glad that's now how we refer to people who make games. That's Kirby's dad. Oh, I think he'd like it though, based on the interviews we saw.
Yeah. Well, he is Kirby's father.
Yeah.
He birthed him. Anyways, we have a real discussion that isn't Pac-Man.
Yeah. Sorry, Isaac took us on a little path, but if you want to be horrified, you can go watch that on Amazon Prime.
Well, actually, I don't go and watch that on Amazon Prime because Prime sucks.
I think it's
I'm going to say it.
Well, yeah, but
the commercial break, I'm not here for it. Amazon,
this is
there's
not
a lot of negative
anymore.
Sorry, you're right. All right. I'm just saying I don't want to like advertise for Amazon.
No.
I don't want the okay.
We're just saying where
I want to
find
advertise for the artists who worked on this is so complicated. The Good Place is right. The Good Place was correct. And you guys can look, that's not about video games, so you guys can look that up on your own. Watch all of The Good Place. Okay. Baldur's Gate. Split screen. Has awakened a lot of negative feelings in me. A lot of feelings. I spoiled it by saying negative, but yeah, I'm full of rage at Baldur's Gate split screen.
Yeah, so we just, I know we're always on the cutting edge, yes, of new games. So we just started playing Baldur's Gate 3.
Yeah, the brand new game that just came out that everyone has not yet fully experienced 4 times over.
Right.
We're doing it.
We
did Baldur's Gate. Well, we did. We
did like
we're like 5 hours.
I don't know. I was just guessing, but
we're like a decent chunk in, and by a decent chunk, I mean like 1% in. So that's cool.
Well, anyway, just for some context, we did start playing mostly because one of my friends pointed out, I didn't know that you could play, and this is relevant to the split screen. I didn't know that you could play with each other, like
couch co-op.
Yeah, couch co-op. That's what I was looking for. The word.
Yeah.
Co-op. And I'm always looking for games for Isaac and I to play together because I really enjoy together gaming time.
Yeah.
And we have run out, so now we're here, and I like that. Anyway, So, but because of that, because we're playing with each other on the same PlayStation 5, we have to use split screens. And that brings us to today.
Split screens. Okay. So at a basic level, split screen is fine. It's a solution to a problem.
Mm-hmm.
Okay? Like, there are two players. You want them, they could be doing two different things. They have to have two different perspectives. What I don't like is the way that it merges sometimes and separates sometimes. And then once they've separated, it's still like super like not clear what's going on. Let me give an example.
Yeah, I was gonna say.
Okay.
Let's dive deep.
You and I are in a room in a dungeon. There's a statue in front of us. There's a statue in front of us, and there's like a bookshelf to the left and a bookshelf to the right. And the room is big enough that if you and I go look at, if we're standing at the statue, one screen, okay. You go to the statue or the bookshelf on the right. I go to the bookshelf on the left. Okay, we've split screen. Okay, I'm with you. I'm Baldur's Gate, Larian. I'm with you. It's working out great. I then go to the bookshelf to the right. You go to the bookshelf to the left. Oh, my example. Dang it. I'm confusing the issue.
All right. I want me to give an example.
No, sorry.
Oh,
I
okay.
go back to the statue. You go to the bookshelf that I was just looking at. Now we're close enough to be on the same screen again.
Yeah.
But I'm on the left side. You're on the right side. All of my UI is still on the left. So like literally above your character is the X to use the bookshelf button, and above or use the statue button for my character. And above my character is your X to use the bookshelf button.
I actually didn't notice that.
So I'm looking at my character, and your UI is popping up around it.
I never noticed that.
It's been confusing the heck out of me the entire time, because your UI, if I swap sides with you, and it's on one screen, it's not that big of a problem when we completely switch cameras. But when we are close enough to each other that we can be on the wrong sides of the screen, the UI still shows up respectively. And that is so confusing to me. And like my preference here, like if I was designing this, the way that I would do it is I would make it so that if two characters cross each other to be like on the wrong side, like cross away from their UI, it triggers the split screen. Oh,
I see.
I would want it to be where even though you could fit both you and me on the screen, when I go when we swap from opposite sides of the room, I go to the statue in the middle and you go to the left side, which is like where my UI is. We split screen, even though we could both fit on the same screen.
I'm gonna have. I guess I agree with you. I'm gonna have to look at it though, because I did not ever notice that was a thing.
Yeah. The other thing that screws with me is if I'm navigating in one perspective, like I'm controlling my camera.
This is the issue that I have.
Oh yeah, because this probably affects you a little bit more than me because of your special eyes. But if I'm like over the shoulder, almost third person perspective instead of like the zoomed out like dungeon crawly perspective on my little split screen, and then we get close to each other, it then goes to, I don't know how it picks. I think it does like a neutral like over the thing screen. But then like both of us can independently move the camera around, but it like changes it for both of us because we're now sharing a screen.
I didn't think I could move the camera.
Oh, does it go to the Prime player?
I
just assumed that you could because I could.
I never can when we're together.
Oh, man. Oh,
because I noticed you were like jerking it around and I'm like, oh.
And like, this is one of those cryptic things where maybe like, because camera movement, I'm a longtime gamer, right?
So
camera movement is so intuitive to me. Yeah, but not, not
The Sims
real
has camera.
games.
The Sims has camera movement.
No, I know.
Okay.
But like one of the biggest hurdles into like new people coming into video games, like the separation of camera and movement and stuff, like people really can struggle with like mapping movement in games and like the camera 2 analog sticks on controllers and stuff. Like that's like a known issue.
I feel like I've gotten that
people.
down though with like, because Life is Strange did that, so that trained me very early on in my console days.
Yeah, and so I would say that we're both pretty much at the point, like, once we start a game, we intuitively understand we are going to be moving the camera, we are going to be moving the characters. They are 2 separate things, like, we can do them.
Yep.
But because of that, it's not something, it's now passive knowledge. It's almost muscle memory. Like, we're not actively thinking about what we're doing.
I would agree with that.
Which is why I'm now, like, thinking, like, I haven't maybe analyzed this enough because... I didn't even catch that you couldn't move the camera yourself.
Yeah.
And now I'm wondering, like, is it even a thing? Like, maybe if we're on the same screen together and I do more of a zoom in thing, does that split the screen?
I don't know.
Or am I just so, like, intuitively, passively controlling the camera based on, like, assumed parameters that I haven't actually tried that to know what happens?
Yeah, I mean... Part of what I know when I noticed I couldn't do it is because, as much as yes, I would say we both have the muscle memory to do it, we both do it in different ways.
Yeah, there's
like
also that.
Your style of camera movement is very different than mine, and so that's how I noticed really fast because I was like, I don't like what's happening right now. I do think, well, okay, first I do want to say for me the most disorienting thing is when we come back to that like shared perspective from a split screen is that we're often, or at least I'm often facing a different way.
Yeah.
Or like my character isn't, but like what I'm looking at is now like what was behind me or something. And it takes me like a full, I don't know, I just have to reorient myself. Yeah, but in a video game, that's a lot.
Yeah.
And so that's my biggest thing with it is I just like, I struggle with spatial direction in real life. Like I can't tell you what direction I was in, where I came from in real life, which does map to video games. And so having this be a second issue where suddenly that I'm just facing different directions or looking at things in a different way, I mean, I'm lost like the whole time. Like poor Isaac is like, just go through that door, just go. And I'm like, what door? Where am I?
It is a big problem when you are over your character's shoulder, pressing forward to move forward, and then the camera perspective changes to now pushing, I guess, up on the analog stick is now pushing north. Right. You were going east before. Yeah. Your character is now not moving.
It's confusing.
Straight ahead.
I also will say I do think the trigger, it's almost like too far away. Like sometimes when it triggers us to be in the same screen, I feel like it shouldn't have yet.
Because,
and then we can't actually zoom in because we're so far away from each other.
Yeah.
And then I can't see the detail.
I think where I'm ultimately getting with this is like, the game just feels like it would have been a lot better to just be full split screen, except for cutscenes.
I mean, I have some news for you. I'm pretty sure we can tell it to do that.
Wait, what?
I think there's a force split screen button that I saw pop up a couple times.
What?
I was trying to tell you, but I think we were like in a battle and you weren't.
Well, like, battles don't have split screen.
Oh, I guess that's true. I think that's okay.
Yeah, no, I was gonna say
battles, but I think during play
and then like cutscenes,
because I accidentally did it once. I just made it split screen even though we were like next to each other.
Oh my God. So, what?
I mean, I do think that this was a good conversation to have because it's...
No, I mean, it's a more generic conversation. Like, it is through the lens of Baldur's Gate specifically. Yeah. And even if things don't apply, it's still something to think about.
Also,
like,
even
from
if
a game design
you can
perspective.
say, even if you can say, okay, for split screen, the fact that this is the default, like, I don't know, someone a long time ago was talking about the difference between like opt-in and opt-out things. And so like what people said as the default matters, you know?
Right. Because, like, this, why did I not even think that it would be an option?
I'm pretty sure it's an option.
Forced split screen, this post from a year ago, forced split screen during couch co-op is pretty unplayable. Larian, please bring back the couch co-op split screen merge functionality from Divinity. That wonderful, completely unique co-op experience was the only reason my wife and I bought this game to play together. The forced constant split screen is quite off-putting and disorienting when both players are in the same area. That's wild.
So it's the opposite.
It's literally the opposite of what we're talking about, and it seems like at some point it was the default to do it, and a patch has updated it to
because that one guy.
No, it's probably more than one, but like
that's interesting though. That was like their preferred play style.
Yeah, and it goes into exactly what you were just saying, where like the default and opt-in matters.
Yeah.
So apparently they got enough feedback where like they've decided that the default should be.
This. But I think yeah, once we go back in, we will look at the settings. I'm pretty sure there is a like choose split screen. We might have to choose it. I don't know if we can like set it for the whole game, or like I don't know how detailed we can get.
Okay.
But I swear I saw something on the screen that was like enter split screen or like force split
Yeah,
screen.
I'd basically always rather to be like pretty over my own character's shoulder, like as much as I can be.
I agree, especially just like orientation wise.
Yeah.
And
then
will
in
say,
battles, like the zoomed out, like isometric-ish.
I will say I do struggle a little with the split screen because of my special eyes. And what Isaac means by that is I just get motion sick very easily. And so having like two separate motions going on at once can be tricky.
One thing that I think that we as people, like as a society, should have already advanced, and someone email us if this exists, being able to split output.
Oh, yeah.
From one console to two different screens. I feel
so
like
that you could have like full screen, basically full screen, split screen. That would be sweet.
Yeah, because we have a spare TV. If I could
we
hook
could
the
totally
PS4
set that
up to
up.
that,
That would
and
be
if we
so
could
cool.
do that, because computers can do that.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Obviously.
I mean, yeah, it would be a little bit more intricate with like just because you can't really do that like with video games
on
a computer.
Yeah,
you would have to open up two different windows.
The video game itself would have to have a feature that allows for that.
Yes, which I feel like is something that we could split up and like. Why haven't we developed this? And again, email us if this does exist.
Well, email us if it does exist, and if you want to if you're a PlayStation listening to us right now, you do owe us money if you use this idea.
Yes.
Just letting you know.
Yeah.
PlayStation.
Sorry, PlayStation, you do owe us royalties if you use this idea, but please implement it. It's a small amount of royalties.
Yeah, it
won't affect your bottom line at all.
No.
You will
it's
gain far more than you will have to trade
Actually,
to
you
us.
know, if it will take podcast exposure, honestly.
Yeah.
if you put if you talk about our podcast on the homepage of the PlayStation Direct, then yeah, absolutely. Is PlayStation Direct even anything? Did I?
I have no idea. I think every company has a Direct. Like Meta has a Direct. I think everyone just has meetings where they announce to people. Anyway, speaking of meetings, announcing people, I'm going to announce the meeting of the minds for the rapid fire round, where we generate 3 random words. It's going to be generated from Claire's little phone.
That's true.
And I'm going to put a timer on for 5 minutes.
And we have to come up with a game idea based on those 3 words with a gameplay loop and a name in just those little 5 minutes.
Yes. And if we fail, we feel bad about it.
Which we hope not to. All right. Yeah. Are we ready?
Get ready. Get steady. Get go.
So once again,
we're wasting time. We're burning time.
I know. Once again, we have bread.
Oh my god. Okay, maybe it does pop up a lot. Okay, bread. All right, let's go.
Responsibility.
Bread, responsibility. Okay.
Secretary.
Who secretary throws out for a loop? I was envisioning a superhero whose power was bread.
Mm-hmm. With great bread comes great responsibility.
Exactly.
Okay.
Exactly. Secretary. Superheroes and mayor secretaries often have relationships.
What if the superhero's secret identity is a secretary?
Okay. Secretary by day, bread woman by night.
Bread woman.
No, that's sexist. I don't know why I just assumed. I was like, secretary women. Yeah. No.
Well, you also assumed that superheroes have relationships with secretaries, so no. I think that was worse.
Okay, that I think is okay. What's happening is my brain has been boiled by years of superhero cartoons because I feel like that is the trope.
Well, it's because the superhero's secret identity has a secretary, usually, right?
No, I'm thinking like the superhero like is at odds with the mayor, but the secretary of the mayor is friendly with the superhero. Okay. I feel like this is like a thing that crops up, and not necessarily like the mayor is just an example. I'm trying to think. Did Jonah Jameson have a secretary in Spider-Man? I don't think so. I'm trying to think where I'm thinking of this from. I feel like there was a Mask cartoon and a Tick cartoon that both had this as a theme going on.
Yeah, because like Superman doesn't have a secretary thing either. Like,
no, that's true.
Lois Lane just works for the paper.
Yeah.
I don't
maybe
know.
This is less. Maybe my brain is just.
Is it because Lois Lane wears glasses?
Yeah, that makes her a secretary. What are you talking about? No, she's a reporter, just like Clark Kent.
Well, I was just trying to think of why you might have.
No, I feel like there was a block of cartoons that were all like made by the same company. Oh, I'm also thinking, and this isn't quite the same thing, real Ghostbusters or new Ghostbusters, Extreme Ghostbusters. Egon and his secretary had a thing, but like that's his own secretary, and he is also this superhero in that situation.
Okay,
so
let's move on. We need a game.
Let's stop psychoanalyzing my idea of secretaries and superheroes.
Yeah, that'd be better.
Anyways, bread.
Captain Bread.
Captain Bread.
That way could be, and you could do a little character design if you want to.
Oh, okay. All right. Okay.
But you're Captain Bread, no matter what.
Captain Bread.
Captain Bread has a responsibility to the city.
Mm-hmm.
Need falls.
Need falls? Is that a phrase that means?
No. I just was trying to think of any city name that sounds like bread.
Oh. Sorry, I thought you were saying like need falls upon the city for the superhero.
No,
like
it's called Need Falls.
Okay, like KNEAD.
Yeah.
Okay, no, we need to get gameplay. Can we get some gameplay loop going on here? Okay.
Need rised.
Sorry. Action platformer, Super Nintendo style, 16-bit graphics. Navigate levels using bread-based powers. At a basic level, you're like throwing loaves of bread as people as like your basic attack, but then you can get more powerful things like
croissant grenades.
I'm thinking like you can have like a more powerful jump ability, which is related to like yeast. Like you can like shoot yeast under you and it makes like a springboard for you to jump off of. And so you navigate through these levels defeating villains.
You can use braided loaves to climb up.
Ooh, yes, braided loaves. Yes, and so you fight your way through. What's anti-bread?
Water, I guess, because it like dissolves when it's wet.
Like no. What's the anti-bread of food? We have 30 seconds.
Okay, well, we have to name the game. It's called Captain Bread.
No, it's called Captain Bread City in Trouble.
Captain Bread City in Trouble. The opposite of bread is lettuce.
Okay, so there's a bunch of lettuce-themed villains.
Oh, got it. Love that. And they'll say
and you ally with meat-based villains for sandwiches.
Yeah, and they'll
say meat-based heroes.
They'll say things like, "Let us take that bread away."
Anyways,
from me.
5 seconds left on the clock. We're done.
Was it Captain Bread: A World in Trouble? Is that
City in Trouble?
City in Trouble.
No, he's not ready to take on, or they're not ready to take on the world yet.
Secretary by day, Captain Bread by night.
Yeah, I feel like we didn't incorporate Secretary quite enough into that one, but
no, because we had to do some psychoanalysis. But we did incorporate it. That is there. Maybe at the end of each level, you like sit at a secretary desk. I don't know.
I know it's after the 5-minute mark, but I think that you could do some interesting stuff with like the gameplay itself is the same, but it's like stealth based, where you are the secretary. You can't actually fight villains. You just have to navigate the level without powers effectively.
Yeah, there's gonna be levels to it. There's always gonna be levels to it. Okay, well that was fun. Let's do another one.
All right, 3, 2, 1, go.
Jest.
Like jester.
Yes.
Like ingest.
Oh, can you pause? I got it. My mom's calling.
Okay. Ingest. Like
like a jester.
Yeah.
Metal.
Okay.
Assessment.
Okay, jokes, metal, jokes, iron.
Jest.
No, I know. I'm defining the words.
Yeah.
What's the third one?
Assessment, like a test.
Assessment, like a test.
Adjustment.
Is this a learn 'em up comedy game?
Oh my gosh! Kids game? Learn 'em up comedy. Learn 'em up comedy. That would be so fun. Like you can learn the rule of threes, improv, yes and.
Okay, I was actually thinking more like construction.
Oh.
But it was also like going to be like a funny.
Oh.
Like it was going to.
I thought it was going to teach kids how to be stand-up comedian.
To entertain the kids.
Because metal could also mean like you have metal, right? Like is that spelled the same?
METTLE.
No, you're kidding.
No, I'm not kidding.
Oh, that makes me sad. I never knew that.
Yeah, sorry. I'm sorry.
Well, that would have been easier.
Oh. Wait, here's an idea. This is out there. I don't know if you could program this. So it's probably a bad game idea. You're making parody metal songs.
Okay.
Jest, metal.
Yeah.
Okay, and then the game assesses how good of a parody It is. That's the part that's like the nebulous,
Okay.
like, just make it work.
I think we can because I've thought about this many times because I've heard good parodies and bad parodies. So, though I don't know if it can guess how funny a parody is. Maybe though.
I'm thinking of it more as like Mad Libs.
So I think the assessment though. So to me, this might be too much, but a good parody has to maintain the same rhyming structure, which is something you can check for. It has to maintain the same rhythm, which is something you can check for, like the amount of syllables in a verse. And it should maintain a through line of content, which that's the part I don't know if we can judge on.
That is the hardest part.
But the first two you can definitely program.
Especially with AI these days, add a little AI in there. I think we might be able to do the first two. Okay, what I'm specifically thinking is maybe it's not like actual AI, but like voice. Like you can analyze voice, right? So
people are gonna sing it?
I'm imagining the fun part of this is it's like Rock Band with a microphone, and it gives you a song, and it gives you like blanks.
Wait, okay, this is actually different than what I was imagining. So you have to fill in the blank as you sing it, like on the fly?
Maybe not necessarily on the fly. Like maybe it gives you like the sheet with the blanks, and then like you can start and stop and like record at will. And so you sing into the microphone.
I kind of like it being like you have to figure it out as you go.
And it has like a back. Maybe that's like one of the modes. Maybe there's like a blind mode where it's just like as you're going.
I feel like that makes it more of a challenge.
But like the hard part about that is like you would have to know like the bass lyric.
Yeah. Well, I would assume
in order to be able to.
I would assume that that would be like expected, I guess.
Yeah.
You can sing it through without the blanks.
You get negative points if you sing the actual word. Like if you freeze up and you're just like, I'm just gonna go, like it'll show like like what word is supposed to be there to like help
I like that. And then if you sing it, then
and you can sing it, but it's not worth as much. Like at least you're doing the song,
which I think also goes a little bit to my comedy thing where you have to learn to think on the fly, be funny on the fly.
Yeah,
it's
okay.
Good. You're gonna get
but
better.
This isn't Learn 'em Up Kids. No, we stepped away from Learn 'em Up Kids.
I think you should name it because you listen to metal, and I.
Oh, jeez.
Like, what's a cool?
I mean, I could call it like a very metal name, like Doom Song of the Siren Wench, but like, that doesn't like that itself.
How much time do we have?
We have a little over a minute. Okay. Oh, we have 30 seconds. Okay. Actually, Doom Song of the Siren Wench.
I think that's going to have to
be. Kind of quirky.
Wait, can we do like Doom
songs of the Siren Wench? And because the theming is you're making an album and that's the name of the album.
I was going to say we should make it a parody of itself, but I don't think we have time for that. So
I mean, that name, 13 seconds left on the clock. I'm just going to say that name is a parody of itself. I don't know. That's such an okay. Here, it's one of those situations where like some things are just impossible to satire because they already like satirize themselves so much. It's like so incredibly ridiculous already that like telling the satire from the truth is hard. And I feel like a lot of like metal gets into that where like I could see an album earnestly being named Doom Songs of the Siren Wench, but like that is a patently like ridiculous name. It's a parody metal name, but also like a completely valid metal name.
Cool. Well, we are ready for our final rapid fire.
Yeah, round. let's get this one done. Starting it in 5, 3, 1, go. It's good.
Death.
Okay.
Dilute.
Okay.
Insurance.
Okay. Okay. Two words that start with D.
And insurance.
This
reminds me of absolutely nothing.
Yeah, there's no like semi-current events. No.
This has nothing. Yeah, I can't.
Okay,
think
so
of
you're a plumber with a green hat and wearing overalls, and
I gave Isaac a look. I gave Isaac a withering stare.
Okay, wait. So death.
Dilute
insurance. Oh my god. Oh my god.
That's true. I didn't make it.
Okay. Okay, insurance, having backup plans. I'm trying to step away from like the obvious current event stuff.
What are you talking about?
Insurance having backup plans. How do we incorporate the idea of having backup plans into a game? Having a plan A, plan B kind of situation, like insurance that you will win. Maybe not necessarily like a backup plan, but like...
So here's a definition I like of insurance. A thing providing protection against a possible eventuality. So, and this also is making me think a little bit of Blades in the Dark with like flashbacks, and you can kind of like change what you planned as you go. So I'm wondering if there's a way to like... Maybe, I don't know, like can you like replay levels if they go poorly, if you like pay into like... some kind of insurance. I don't know.
Oh, like a roguelike where like one of the concepts is paying for insurance that is like your lives. Like if you have enough money, you get to restart the character.
Yeah.
Or like respawn the character.
Yeah, in the same level. Instead of like the randomized maybe.
Yes. So like you keep the progression basically as long as you have the money. Okay. And then that gets us death too.
Yep.
You're using insurance to counteract a death.
Right. But dilute.
The dilute... Maybe so
like every time you use it like dilutes something.
That's what I was thinking. Like maybe the rewards get worse each time that you do it as well. But then like, is there real incentive to actually use the insurance mechanic, or is it just a pure like punishment thing where smart players would just never use it? They know not to use it. Maybe
we make the game such a way that like you kind of have to use it sometimes. Can we like force them to use it a little bit?
The only way... I'm putting on my quick thinking game design cap.
Good.
You
should have been wearing it already, I think.
The way to force people to do this, I think, is, yes, the penalties are going to be huge, but let's say we make it so that there are like checkpoints where you can save meta progress, because a lot of roguelikes or roguelites have meta progress where like you might be able to send items back to camp and like you can start your next run with the items or like experience or basically mechanics like that. So in order to get those meta progression things, you have to reach certain checkpoints. So the idea is if you've got really good stuff and you die before you hit one of those checkpoints, you absolutely want to use your insurance to hit one of those checkpoints. Yeah. That's the only, and then that's the cost benefit analysis that the player has to do. And maybe we have a 10-second timer. And so it's like, okay, yes, you will more likely hit the next checkpoint, but you've lost some amount of treasure because you've paid for your insurance. And the treasure that you're going to get is going to be diluted. It's going to be worse going forward. So like you have to decide, is what I have or what I'll keep good enough to keep going forward?
I like this.
What's it called?
It's called... Play it again.
Oh my! Play it again?
I can't. No, I mean that was my first thought. Come on, we can. I'm not done. We don't have to do that. I'm trying to think.
Okay.
Devil's Bargain.
Devil's Bargain. That's very on the nose. That feels like after the colon.
That's what they call it in Blades in the Dark.
Oh, that's what's after the colon.
Okay. So it's I mean, we didn't really talk about story, which isn't what this is about, but that's making it hard to name, I feel, because I don't know what this game is actually about.
Roguesurrection. Like Resurrection and Rogue combined.
No. Do you hear what you said? No.
Rogue Resurrection?
Rogue Resurrection.
Devil's Bargain. How's that?
That's good.
Okay. All right. 9 seconds left.
Okay, great.
All right. We did it. The episode's over. Rogue Resurrection.
Yeah, the episode's over, but I
Go
still
to
have
our
things
website.
to say. Okay.
Oh, okay. Fine. Say your things.
That's what I was going to say. Well, we are going to be live on the 22nd, which is this coming Saturday.
Mark your calendars.
Yep. Mark your calendars. We'll be at 11:30 ET. We're going to be on twitch.tv/makethatgame. And do follow us there so you get notifications if we go live, which we will be. And then you can also email us, makethatgamepodcast@gmail.com. And you can go to our website, makethatgame.com. And now on our website, you can sign up for our newsletter, The Loading Screen, because I think I'm clever. And hopefully we'll start sending that out this month, maybe next month. We'll see. But once we have enough people subscribed, we can send one out.
We should send them out whether people are subscribed or not. The first of every month.
The first of every month?
Isn't that when newsletters usually come out?
Whenever. Well, no.
Okay.
Usually they pick a day. So it's like the first Sunday of a month, the first Monday of a month. Anyway.
Okay. Well, I'll let you pick that.
Okay.
But I think that we should, because,
You just start sending them?
Yeah.
Okay. We'll start sending them. They're going to be fun. They're only monthly, so it's not going to be like too much in your inbox. And, if you heard a game today that you think needs to exist, we encourage you to get out there and
make that game.